Good morning. If all of our children would like to come down for a story for all ages. Okay. So this morning, we've got a story about an evil wizard and a girl named Esmeralda. Oh, look at that. Oh, my. So this is a story of an evil wizard and a girl named Esmeralda. And Esmeralda was a pretty normal 9-year-old girl, except that for several years, she had been on adventures all around the world, saving all kinds of people and animals from the clutches of the evil wizard. And the evil wizard was, well, evil and mean and ugly and rotten. So once, he stole a whole forest of animals and put them in cages underneath the ocean. And Esmeralda had to save them. And once, he went to Shangri-La, a place way up in the Himalayan mountains where everybody is happy all the time, and they eat chocolate, and they go water skiing, and they ride merry-go-rounds. And he tried to wreck all the fun and make everybody miserable. And Esmeralda had to catch him and put him in jail. And Esmeralda spent a lot of her time chasing this evil wizard all around the world, and she caught him every time. But as many times as Esmeralda could stop the evil wizard from doing terrible things, he kept doing more. And as many times as she could put him in jail, he broke out. It was very, very frustrating. But Esmeralda persisted because, after all these creatures and people needed to be saved. Then, one summer day, Esmeralda decided to go on a trip of her own. All her other adventures had started when the evil wizard had caused trouble somewhere. This time, she was going on an adventure all by herself. It was a Saturday, and she was going to climb a mountain. It's a mountain she'd wanted to climb for a very long time. So she got her stuff, and she headed off on the trail. And as she walked along, she was enjoying the smells and the sun and the leaves. But she hadn't been walking for very long when who do you think she saw? The wizard. What is she doing here? I fight and I fight and I fight this guy. And every time I think I have finally put him away, he's back. I can't believe it. And just as she thought this, the evil wizard darted off along the path and into the forest. And Esmeralda ran after him thinking, this is it. This time he's not getting away. I'm going to catch him, and when I do, I'm going to put him where he will never come out again. I don't ever want to see his ugly face again. So Esmeralda ran and ran, dodging trees and climbing hills and jumping over streams. And finally, as the evil wizard ran around an enormous boulder, Esmeralda climbed on top of it and jumped off, landing right on top of him. And he flailed around and he tried to escape, but Esmeralda was strong. And she thought to herself, this is finally it. I'm going to put him where he will never get out. And she looked around, and right there next to the boulder was a hole in the ground. So she dragged the evil wizard over and stuffed him in the hole. And then there was a small rock by the boulder, and she kicked it out of the way, and the boulder rolled over the hole, sealing him in. Phew, she gasped. He's trapped now. He's never coming out. And I am free. Esmeralda walked back to the trail and started off again when she heard a sound behind her. She stopped. Slowly, she turned around, and there was the evil wizard, on top of a log, staring at her. Esmeralda threw herself on the ground and kicked and screamed and threw a big tantrum. That's impossible. You can't be here. How did you manage to escape again? I shouldn't have put him in a hole. I should have dragged him off the cliff, let him tumble onto the rocks. I should have taken him to the ocean and let the sharks eat him. And then she stopped herself. What am I saying? I'm starting to sound like him, not me. She looked at the evil wizard. He looked at the trail, and she looked at her watch. She realized she had spent most of her day trying to conquer the evil wizard and had nearly forgotten about her own climb up the mountain. So Esmeralda thought about it for a minute, and then she realized something else. Maybe trying to get rid of him isn't the answer. If I wait to go on my adventure until I get rid of him, I might never go anywhere. Something has to change. Okay, evil wizard, she called out. This is it. I'm going on my journey, and I'm not going to let you take over. I won't let you do anything evil, but I'm not taking off after you just because you decided to show up. This is my adventure, and if you want to come along, okay, I'll have to deal with you. But you'll also have to deal with me. So Esmeralda took a deep breath, grabbed her backpack, and proceeded up the mountain. And the evil wizard, well, he looked around, hopped off his log, and went after her. But she continued in the lead. And you may wonder, did Esmeralda make it up the mountain? Well, that story will have to wait for another day. And with that, our story ends. And if Saya would like to come up, she's going to help us carry our flame as we head off to our religious exploration classes. So from generation to generation, we light this flame of religious freedom. And we'll follow Saya out as we sing Go Now in Peace.